That's always a great way to start. My webcam is. Well, let me. Okay, that fixed it. All right. I need to figure out how to post. I guess I'll add. I'll use this. Oh, let me just close. Great way to start a stream. Yeah. Another great way to start the stream is I will be right back. Go to the restroom. Forgot that I was gonna get water and go to the restroom before I did this. Um, but I'll go ahead and do that. I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, let me pull up. I guess double check. You working? Okay. Um. The Upward. Oh. Before I started the stream, I set up GitHub with I set up GitHub for GameMaker, so that's something new. No capture. Word sign set visible. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna pull up an old design doc from Game Jam. I'm gonna use that as my template. Oh, I'll actually do. Oh, where is it? Go in Explorer. I have two documents. Okay. Interesting. Apparently, when I made this, I should do this in Word? Not Word. Google Drive. Google Docs. Let me see how Google. I thought it actually had a template. Hey, it's fine. We'll go ahead and do it in Word. Um, okay. Oh, is not also small. And I'll zoom. Okay. So that. Uh, let me make some announcements. Oh my gosh. That's weird. That's also kind of very frustrating because I wanted to give it a special text. Well, I'll just do it myself. Then we'll copy this. Then one of these days, post. Um, Word. Uh, Guild had events. I don't like it's the same person. Kind of. Yeah, doesn't hurt to try. Worst case is I get kicked out. Have you? They have. I like how the freelancer. Try G. Like this is such a great. I wish there was a way to like do. I mean, I guess I could probably figure out how to set this up. Um, pirate software. I'll do it in streaming. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. Sorry for rambling. As I try to figure this out. Oh, I have a viewer, but not someone in chat. It's gonna be kind of hard to do. Um, so thank you, random viewer. Get back to the. Okay. So we are working on writing the design doc for this game. So about a month ago, I announced that I'm working on a game, and that game is called The Legend of Clover. That is its code name, project name. So it's like for references of talking about the game while it's being underdeveloped or underdeveloped. I mean, it is underdeveloped. It's just me in my spare time. Uh, um, so basically, the code name is The Legend of Clover. So it's a 2D action adventure pixelated game working in Game Maker. The idea here is that I wanted to make a game, and I've been learning Game Maker. I just completed about 50% of the Zeneva courses on Learning Game Maker, and so now I'm gonna try to test the water and um, make my own game. And so I'm going with a 2D action adventure game. So the last game I kind of really worked on um, was that 2D action adventure game. Hmm. The idea here is that I'm working on trying to build up an audience, and I'm going to start listing out what I plan to do. But the audience is always more than welcome to pitch ideas, talk about ideas. Um, it's an interactive development process. And so design is included in with the interactive development process. So what I have scheduled for this week is that one of the days I was going to work on design. Then the next day I was going to work on art. Whew. Sorry. And then work on the programming part. So programming will be Sunday. Art will be either Saturday before our community day. And then design is today. I wasn't able to do it yesterday. I wasn't feeling well. As some side note, I've been working on losing weight and diet and exercise. And uh, let's just say that like I went out to eat and I didn't eat that much, but I ate food that I don't normally eat anymore, and it made me feel like I had a headache and was just like exhausted. Um, Definitely not fun. Um, but I'm feeling better today. Still a little lightheaded, but that's because of some other things. Um, but the goal here is, as I'm building up a community, I would like the community to provide feedback on what they would look for in a game. So while I'm busy building the community, if I don't have people, I'm kind of like doing my own choices. But like I said, I would like for a community to be um part of uh part of what's going on here. So let's go ahead and start with the name. So I will put Wondrous Tales. That's what it was. Wondrous Tales. You're also gonna watch me not be able to spell in real time because I am really bad at spelling. I think that's the correct. Didn't it have like a definition? I have to Google this. Huh. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So, Wondrous Tales is the it's a trilogy, which you're already like, wow, guy who's never made game is gonna make a trilogy. And I'll explain a little bit more. Ow. Sorry, my phone. So it's called the Wondrous Tales because the trilogy takes place amongst three different stories. They're all separated out enough that it shouldn't cause a problem where someone's like, "Oh, I gotta play this game or this game or this game." Um, but it's the Wondrous Tales, and then to get around from calling it the Legend of Clover, which um, might cause some legal issues. I'm not actually sure. I don't really know how you can get a like. I don't know how you can copyright the word the legend and the word of and the word proper noun, especially when like Zelda is a proper noun, but clover, which is a like four-leaf clover, um like all of these words are legitimately um words that you can use in like everyday speech. But get around it and to be a little more creative, we're gonna call it the epic Clover, um, which I believe that's what they called. I need to look up. So like some background on like story names. Gilgamesh. Not to be confused with the Final Fantasy character, which uh Gilgamesh. I can't even spell Gil Gil. Wow. Final Fantasy. I'm gonna do it that way. Okay. Gilgamesh. Oh, epic. Epic of. Yeah, so Epic of Gilgamesh is like the classic legendary story. Epic meaning legend, right? Like epic means like a grand tale, which also has the same meaning as legend. Yeah. So back to it. Epic of Gilgamesh. So what did I call it? I called it the Epic Clover. So the Epic of Clover. Yeah. Wow. It's like you got around things, hopefully. Um Definitely not a lawyer, so I have no idea if I actually did get around anything. But still, the idea is I'm not yesterday. Um the idea is making a game and it this is what it's called. And this is the design doc to I wonder if the I don't know. I just wish that I was actually doing this in Google Docs because I like Google. Mm, we'll see how this goes. The introduction, game summary pitch. We'll get rid of that. Inspiration. Rid of that. Rid of that. Get rid of player experience. Get rid of this. This. Okay. All right. Cleared all of that stuff out. Okay, I'm just gonna put credits in. Way to make this things. All right, I'm just curious if I like take this and put to Google Docs, if it. I swear I'm not crazy. I remember specifically seeing ways to. Like, oh, God, I really hate Word documents. So it's saying that I need like a headings to heading two, and then there should be heading two. Should be control. And the two. Always fun doing the Formatting part. Okay. Oh, I guess I can get rid world design. I guess I'll do world and then do design and design setting. So I'll do okay. Heading design setting. Student. Main then ah. Okay. So this is a 2D action sure soul art game focus a village of three game. The first game is focused up down uh adventure exploring game. The second game 2D action pixel focusing trilogy of three games. The first game is focused on being a top-down adventure exploring game. Taking place past. Probably I figure out like that does not. Okay, we'll try that. Sorry. Um. Oh, now my phone's going. First game. This is a 2D action adventure pixel art game focusing on a trilogy of three games. First game is focused on being a top-down exploring game taking place the past. Um, the player will experience 7 unique uh, biomes. in order. Player can explore 7. I did forest. So for context, I already drew like some background art and or not really background art. Um, a systems person, so I kind of like drew this map. I wonder if I can let me see if I can find it really quick. Yes. Oh my god. I don't know if anyone, but one, I have a unicorn uh sketchbook or note thing. Um, and scan. That looks really whoa. That looks really bad. But um, I don't know if there's an easy way to like show this. Um, yeah. Okay. Um, the idea is the player wakes up in a field. Um, kind of like Breath of the Wild. I really don't want to make too many comparisons to Breath of the Wild because I feel like I'm cheating. Um, but it is 2D and it's a I don't know. I mean, my goal. I don't know the limitations of Game Maker. So this is something I want to learn. But the goal is that you I don't even know where to like write all this stuff down. I feel like this is my problem. I have like all these ideas. I just don't know how to write them down and put them anywhere. And I end up just talking about them while I'm trying to write this paper. Um, but the idea is um the hero wakes up. I originally put a town. So my wife and I were originally working on making a 2D Stardew Valley like game. So cozy farming game. Um but um but that kind of got like separated. And so when I originally drew this, I originally drew that there'd be a field, and then when this game came into an idea that I'd be in this field, the character would wake up. You have to like explore all these areas, but now the idea is the character wakes up, he's in a field, then it's to the right of the forest. Because ideally, I would like the player to go to the forest. So this is why I say the player can explore. So like Breath of the Wild, I want the ability where the player is drawn to the tower immediately. Um, but like traditional Zelda games, like old school Zelda games, I want to make it where the world is open and accessible, but you're more incentive to want to explore the world and find things so that to like be able to get to the tower will be much more manageable and not just like, oh, you're just get like some of the things with Breath of the Wild is you just get better because you have more hearts and you get better like armor and things. But like overall, Link doesn't change, right? Like nothing in Breath of the Wild really changes Link, which is something that gets lost from the newer Zelda games, where like Link doesn't change over. Like, I mean, he gets more hearts and he gets better armor, but fundamentally, as a player, he doesn't change. I don't really like that. I like the idea that I liked old traditional Zelda games where like Link, by overcoming challenges, gets something to empower him. I like that idea better. I mean, it's cool, right? Because like for speedrunners, like, oh great, I can like just go and immediately go to Ganon's tower and go fight or Ganon's castle and fight him or Hyrule Castle. In this. But my idea would be, yes, you can do that. It's going to be really hard, but you can do it. Um, so, anyways, I kind of want to put this tower. in the middle. And for context, uh, sorry. So for context, what's my train of thought? So the villain, so the whole point of the trilogy is that the villain is the Demon King from the future. So, uh, under the world is the demon world, um, and the Demon King, uh, in the past is just a child. So my idea is Demon King comes from the future to stop. So, at this time, mankind hasn't figured out how to settle yet. When I mean mankind, I mean humans. The humans are just about to learn how to settle and domesticate animals. The rest of the races, which I'll go on that in a little bit more detail in the other areas, sort of already kind of have towns and kind of have their thing. Like they have figured out a way to settle, but they don't use animals to do most of their work. Like most of their work either comes from themselves or just like um, there's like mountain people who are just like they eat rocks and they're just like mountain, like they're really strong and they can like break down the rocks. Um, there's two mountain tribes. There's like the big strong ones um, that are kind of more like miners, and then there's like more calm and reserved monks. Um, and there's two mountains, one on the left and one on the right at the top. Um, the miners can get you bombs, and the monks. I haven't figured out what you're gonna get for doing the monks. Um, but so the idea is, um, the forest people are carpenters, and so um, there's like a bridge to the there's like a river that runs before the desert area. Um, and so you have like two options. You can either go learn how to swim uh by following the river, like learning how to swim. Um, do I have a swamp? Yeah. So like the idea would be the forest people make it so that they can open up the bridge. Or you could follow the river and learn how to swim. You can just swim over the river to go to the desert. Uh, you'll need to learn how to swim. Oh, there's a lake. So you follow the river to the lake, and then once you like figure out the lake area, uh learn how to swim. Learning how to swim helps you either to go to the desert early or you can go to the beach and then you can go to the sea. Can't dive in the sea. You end up going to the island, Fire Island, the volcano island, and then um, get some ability there that getting mermaids. Then you're allowed to go under the sea. Um, yeah. So with all oh yeah, so the monks teach you how to rock climb. So being able to transcend the tower makes it much easier if you do it that way. Um, doing the lake gets you the powered up sword. You can get a sword in the forest. So I wanted to give. Yeah, I really feel like I need to like be writing all this stuff down instead of just talking about it out loud. Question. What's up? Sorry. I know I'm just kind of like rambling. I think I need to figure out a way to like keep people up to date. What's up, Kurama? Did I say that right? I'm good. Um, to give you context on what I'm trying to do, I'm been learning how to do game design and been working on making games in Game Maker, and now I'm trying to make my own game. But I wanted community feedback, so I'm like trying to talk out loud. But then I realized I'm not writing anything down, and so it's probably hard to follow. But the idea is, as I'm busy working on a game, um, I wanted community feedback, and so I'm in the design phase right now. I'm someone who like does design and do and design and do. I don't like just do design all up front. Yeah, so I'm a programmer by trade. I've been a programmer for 12 years. But I'm doing this as like a side thing and trying to figure out how to make games. Um, but like I said, I wanted to like take thank you, Alexis. But I wanted to like um I wanted to really take the agile method where it's like you like work a little bit and then you like go off and get like stakeholder advice. Instead, I wanted to like bring stakeholders like to the like bleeding edge part. So if you know anything about programming, this has been like an interesting problem to try to solve. I wanted to try this, right? So I have like a small business, just me, solo dev, wanted to try this. Um, so here we are. Do you have any questions? Oh, in what language do I program? So I'm normally a Python developer. Um, mostly Python. Mostly Python. But the game will be done in Game Maker unless like somehow like as I'm working on it and it gets like too complicated or like I break it, but I doubt what I'm trying to do. Like I'm trying to make a 2D adventure game. So I don't think I can break it. I kind of want it to be open world ish, but there are ways to like get around the open world part. Yeah, I've been a software engineer for 12 years. What about yourself? And also, what brings you to the stream? Did I get lucky? Did someone find my stream, or did my numerous posts somehow get to people? Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, I was just asking you, like, did you find this on Twitch, or did you find this Twitch stream through various places where I've posted, hoping to bring in audience members? Like, okay. Oh wow, cool. That is awesome. Um, nice. That is awesome. I didn't think I would get anyone from there. I feel like I get really bad luck with uh Twitch. So that's really cool to hear. Thank you. Um yeah, I guess I'll try to stop rambling and try to like focus more on writing and talking. Um yeah, I don't know how to do this. And you only like to program video games. No, my day job, I'm a DevOps engineer, and then before that I have written software for like uh finding oil levels in machinery equipment. Uh, I feel like I've done a lot of random things. I did a lot of like automation for server deployments, networking deployments. Um, think of what else I've done. Yeah, mostly like server deployments and thing. But for this, but for my business that I'm running at, it is currently a multimedia company. So we focus on creating content. So hence streaming. Um, but the streaming consists of doing interviews. So on my LinkedIn page, I do interviews with small business owners. And then when I stream, I either play video games or I'm doing um, or I'm trying this out. Um, yeah. So you said you were an engineering student. What type of engineering are you? There are a few people who stream about programming and such. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Um, yeah. The last couple streams I've been doing have been me taking like training courses. So it wasn't really me learning how to program. Um, or not, it wasn't me like programming to show people. It was literally like me showing people like, here's how I would learn how to do something. Because sometimes that's something people kind of struggle with. Is like, well, how do I learn how to do something? I'm like, here, I'll show you. Like this is how I would go about it. So I took ah yeah I mean, it can take a bit. I mean, I still sometimes struggle with it at times as well. Um, it just takes practice. Um, kind of like seeing other people's styles and then learning like what style works best for you. Also finding that right language. Finding something that you're like interested in. To find when I'm programming things that I'm interested in, or like I'm giving a task that I don't like to do, knowing that I can like go off and program it, to like relieve myself of that task through doing automation or something, helps inspire me to like want to keep working on it. Um, but yeah, I would just say keep practicing, keep trying things. Stream or just someday. Currently I stream about 5 times a week. I'm either streaming here or I'm streaming on LinkedIn. Um, I stream either here or on LinkedIn. When I'm here, about normally one or two nights of playing games. This Saturday we're doing a community night. I have a small Discord, about 60 people, and we play video games together. We're looking for more Stardew Valley players. So if you play Stardew Valley, I could send you a link to the Discord if you'd like to take part in playing Stardew Valley together. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming it or not. I have to ask the people who are playing if they're comfortable with streaming. And yeah, currently I am playing Chrono Trigger, and I normally try to play like a couple new games every once in a while. Um, but the like learning how to program or learning how to use Game Maker has been kind of eating up a lot of my time. So now I've just been playing Chrono Trigger, which is like a really retro game. Um, when it was Mario Day, which was March 10th, I played a bunch of Mario games on stream. Um, I mostly just play like cozy games or Nintendo games. Um, I don't really play like a lot of like hardcore games or that. Um, and then I also don't like I don't try to like game the system with Twitch to like figure out how to get on the top of the page or whatever. I just kind of like try things and do whatever and see what happens. Um, and yeah. All right. Let me see if I can multitask. I'm not really good at multitasking. Yeah, so this is a 2D. The first game is a top-down adventure exploring game based in the past, and the player can explore. I was counting the biomes. That's what it was. I don't know if you can see this. Um, but this was like, no, I don't think. Wow. I drew like a little map a couple days ago. Actually, probably 2 or 3 months ago. I drew kind of like a sketch of an idea of like what the map flow would be. So like how the characters or how the world would interact. Um, and so now I'm trying to like take what I drew and try to like map it to a design doc and whatnot. So where I'm at is the player can explore up to. There's a lake, there's a forest, there's a desert, there's the moon, there's two mountains, there's the sea, and there is an island. I think that's 8. Yeah, we'll go with 8. Can explore 8 biomes. Oh, biomes, right? Oh, I actually did. Wow. I'm also not the best speller. That's also why I don't really like doing design docs. Okay, cool. I did spell right. Okay. Can explore up to 8 biomes, and there are 8. I also can't spell dungeons. Dragons dungeons. There are 8 dungeons. 9. I don't know how much of the summary pitch I need to like. They're up to biome. Ah, player can explore up to 8 biomes, such that it will make it easier to take on the final challenge, which fighting, which is climbing tower middle of the world. Um, so I don't know. I don't remember when you joined, but the concept of this game is, I don't know if I should say it's a trilogy because I feel like we're gonna be like, guy's never made game before and he wants to make a trilogy. Um, but there's some like uh rationale to it. I think is the right word. Um, so it's all pixelated. So the idea is, the first game is like a Zelda like game, classic Zelda, like Super Nintendo or Super Famicom. I don't know what, I actually don't even know how to pronounce the Japanese version of it, but Link to the Past. The third Zelda game? Yes, it's the third Zelda game. Um, so it's like that style of game. And so the idea is it's basically taking Breath of the Wild, but like if it was made for Link to the Past. So the character wakes up, um, and has to like explore the world. And unlike Breath of the Wild, where you can just immediately go to the, well, there's like you have to get the power ups. Unless you're a speed runner and you figure out a way to get off of the loading zone. But anyways, enough of the side traction there. The idea is player wakes up and there's a giant tower. You can go to the giant tower. It will be really hard to traverse and be able to explore the giant tower. Yeah, it's like old Zelda, but like, but it's like hard because I'm like, it's like old Zelda as in like 2D, like when 2D got, what the right word is, when 2D was like iterative on. So like not like classic like first Zelda, also not the second Zelda game, because the second Zelda game is a 2D side scrolling game, which is really weird. It it the mechanics were interesting, but like the controls were kind of NES wonky, so it was like difficult. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm trying to go for like, I don't want to say polished because technically Zelda 2 is actually a pretty polished game, but it's just like the limitations of the hardware kind of made it annoying. But I was like shooting for more like a Super Nintendo version or Super Nintendo uh thing, but like met with Breath of the Wild. So it's an open world, assuming Game Maker can handle being open world. If it can't, then I'll try to like divide up the areas by their regions. So like when you get to the forest, there'll be like a loading screen to take you to the forest. But if it can be seamless, I'll make it seamless. If I can't make it seamless, then there'll be like something to kind of like hide the not seamless part. Um, like for example, I know that I want like I know for example to go to the desert, I want the player to be able to have to like cross a bridge. But he can't get the bridge until he helps the people in the forest because the forest people are carpenters, and once he helps the carpenters, they'll go make bridges. Um, so there's things like that where it's like if you are helping people in the world, it'll make climbing the tower easier, and then also you're gonna get power ups that are like used to traverse the world better. But there are like ways where you don't have to do the power ups. So like one of the mechanics I wanted to figure out was like in Breath of the Wild, like weapons break. But in this scenario, I'm not gonna make like a bunch of different weapons. It's gonna be like you can play the game with a stick. The stick will break. You can keep finding sticks, or you can find a sword. Then you can like level up the sword and like get a better sword and continue using the sword. Um, or you can like learn how to like play the game with sticks. You can learn how to get holy water, and then that'll make fighting the final boss easier. If you're choosing to like do a no sword run and you have a stick, you can like apply holy water to the stick, which will like do tons of damage to the final boss. Um, but it's like little things like that that you have to like explore and play the game and learn that as you play. Um, is kind of the idea. The player can explore up to 8 biomes and such that it will make it easier to take on the final challenge, which is climbing the tower. Um, so Game Maker only supports, I believe, GD script. So I'm getting GD script mixed up with Godot, which I don't remember what Godot's programming language is. Oh, Godot is GD script. Game Maker is GML. Find a link. Yeah, so I'm using Game Maker for this project. And like I said, if it becomes too difficult, um, there are like ways that I can make it like not be seamless and like create artificial loading areas. Um, but I don't think it's gonna get that complex. And if it does get that complex, one of the other ideas that I had in mind was transferring it to Godot and see if I can do it that way. Um, but we'll see. This is a part where like I don't know, so we'll see how it goes. Um, but yeah, so okay, inspiration, uh, classic, the Zelda touch. Um, the player experience and be focused on but the player exploring the world and helping others in order to gain abilities. Development software, game maker. I don't know what version I'm on. Uh, 2024.11.0.17. I guess I should check for updates. A sense of okay, ID is that's weird. Oh, 11, like November. Okay, that's not too bad. Oh, hey. Oh, I'm so bad with names. I want to say Flo, but it's with a Y. Thank you for stopping by. Uh, Watching me learn how to make a design doc. The genre. Let me. Bullets? Sure. Also, I'm not the best with word. Um. 2D action adventure. I don't know if I should use the word pixel like. I don't know. Pixel 2D action adventure. What you would call it? I feel like that's all I need. I don't know. What would we call like classic 2D Zelda? Or I guess what would be Link to the Past? I hate genres. Okay. So according to, and I don't know what this is, I assume this is Google, but Google has The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, which is the Super Nintendo version of a Zelda game. Puzzle. Uh, yeah, that's fine. Action adventure game. Yeah. Fighting game. Yep. Yep. Zelda's a fighting game. Ah, we lost flow. Dang it. Oh. Yeah. So that's 2D adventure. I won't put pixel. I think there's a section in here for art and oh yeah. Yeah. Terranigma is amazing. If you're from Europe, you're awesome because you actually got the game. If you're from America, play it any way that you can. Yeah, that game was great. Um, it was a trilogy game. Soul Blazer was awesome. Illusion of Gaia. I don't know what the European version was called or what they call it in Japan. But but yeah, Terranigma was the best of the three. I liked Soul Blazer. Um but I couldn't get into Illusion of Gaia. And then Terranigma was like leaps and bounds compared to the other two. Um it's interesting because I remember playing Soul Blazer, and the sound effects from Soul Blazer are also found in ActRaiser, and I never understood why Soul Blazer and ActRaiser use the same sound effects. It's really weird. Target audience. Who is this game targeted for? Everyone. Everyone should be able to play my games. Like I follow Nintendo's design philosophy. That I think games are meant for everybody. Um, I think there are ways that you can like cater. Like, I believe there's a way you can make a game where you can make like a meta version of the game. I have no idea how you figure this out, but like figure out a way to like make a meta version of the game. So like for the like more hardcore people. But like think about everyone else, and then like and then kind of like figure out a way to like, yeah. I don't know how to describe it. I guess it's kind of like how I was describing, like you'll see this tower, right? Like you will be drawn to the tower. And so I don't know how I can get it so that like for beginners, they'll be more likely to go to the forest. Yeah. Yeah. Uh yeah. I'm trying to figure out like how do I make it so that I want players to be enticed by the tower, but I want like but I want to like for people who are like not good at the game to know that like they don't have to go to the tower and they can go somewhere else. But for the people who kind of want that like challenge, they can just like go do it. Um, and I don't know. I guess I'll need to like think on how to like make that. It's like I don't want to just like flat out tell the player like, hey, if you're bad at this game, like go do this, right? Like I want people to be like uh drawn to the tower, but also like drawn to exploring the world and trying things. I'm wondering. So there is a story where like the hero is brought to life by a goddess, and so I'm wondering if there's like a story beat that I can like get people to like want to like go explore the world first. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's probably going to be like one of the challenging problems of like um a how do I make it so that like you don't need like, for example, you can climb the tower, but like there's going to be climbing gear where it makes climbing easier, where you can like actually vertically scale walls. So like I guess there could be like you enter the tower and it's like really hard. Like there's just a really strong boss that's in the like, one, it's really hard to get to the tower. Then once you get to the tower, there's like a door and you have to fight like a really strong boss. Or if you have the climbing gear, you can like climb up. If you get like the better sword, fighting the boss will be easier. Things like that. But I guess I'm trying to figure out like how do I make the player. Um, I mean, maybe what I could do is if I keep the story kind of short, and then if the player ends up going to the tower and they don't have any like the flags set where they're like doing stuff, like they haven't gone to the forest and they haven't like completed the forest setup, and they immediately go to the tower and they like die in the tower region, I could have like the goddess just kind of be like, hey, like maybe you should go check something else out. I don't know. But then I'm like, I don't want to like for the people who want to take on the challenge of the tower, not be like nagged by this message. Um, I'm glad you're finding this entertaining. Yeah. So everyone, hardcore. I don't want to say hardcore. Challenge seeking. Does that sound better? Challenge seeking players. Um, I think of like how to. Guess I'll everyone let players explore world edges them make. I mean, I guess I could just make it an option, be like turn off help. Like if you keep dying, like have that be turned off. Maybe like when you get the message, just be like, well, I don't know if I would want them to like, because what if a new player accidentally turns that message off and they really need it? Um, I don't know. I feel like one of the problems always people complain about is like the fairy Zelda is too nagging. But it never bothered me. It's like you can just press a button to get the information. Maybe that's what I'll do. I mean, but I won't make it like annoying, I guess. And then you can just like opt to turn it off in the options. I think that might help. Because if I like bury it in the options, I feel like a new player isn't gonna like do that. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, uh, play explore the world and give them nudges, help them make it easier. Game is set up to bridge the final, but the final area is full of challenge. Good. I'll go ahead and share this. You've been cool enough that I close Discord. Um, I have a Discord, and I don't mind letting you join the Discord. I need to like figure out how to set up Twitch to have more. Oh yeah. Um, Oh yeah, I used to do that. But my schedule is like very wonky. So what I do is in my Discord, I send out a picture of what I plan to stream every week. Um, so if you like this content, one, definitely help by following me. That would be really awesome. Two, you can check out the Discord. And in the Discord, that's where I post all the announcements about what we're doing. Um, where I run community. Why is it? Oh, I'm sorry. I've been sharing the wrong. Whoops. I've been sharing the wrong thing this whole time. Wow. Wow. What a day. Yeah. So I've been writing. But anyways, Discord. Check out the Discord. Um I run a community for Python developers. It's starting to evolve more into pretty much anyone who's working on projects or has goals in mind. Pretty open. Uh yeah. So anyways, uh show that I'm not crazy. I've been working on this design document. Oh, I need to put the code name. Um, project code name. Nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's all good. A lot of people who are in the community, um, are boot camp graduates. So they got out of a web development program and are looking for jobs. So I do a lot of volunteer work at a local boot camp company. Um, the so yeah, so definitely a good fit there. Um, I post a little bit. I haven't been doing much with the mindfulness. I got a certification in becoming a mindful coach. I do a little bit of that stuff there. Um, I've kind of like I went to game developers conference last week. So I've been kind of like in game dev like mindset now. Um, so I kind of like my business is kind of like in a lot of different areas, which is kind of unique because most people when they like create a business, they're very focused on solving uh solving a thing. I think I still have, if you're curious about like doing Python game development, I think I still have a stream on Python game development. Um if not, because I know Twitch gets rid of things really fast, I have been working on moving this stuff to YouTube. Uh thank you. Um ah, I did. Okay. How do I find view your channel? Thank you. And if you're curious, here's our YouTube channel. Basically, I moved the streams once I know Twitch is about to get rid of them. I moved them over there. I've only done it with this one because the training I've been doing. I'm not sure of copyrightness because I am like taking other people's like paid training and doing it and adding my own commentary to it. But I won't post that to YouTube. I don't think that's good. Uh, good form. I don't mind doing it on stream because I know that Twitch eventually will knock it off. But I wouldn't post to like YouTube or something like that where it could like live longer. Um, but that video there was me. It was me doing Python game development basic setup. So if you ever want to learn how to set up a game in Python using Pygame. It sets you up to like get you to just a splash screen, but then it helps you figure out how to set it up so you can get it so you can get your first game into itch.io, and it also teaches you how to use web deployment. Um, so a lot of games are now moving to it's WebGL, I think that's the name. Basically, it's the game can run in a web browser. It's really great when you're doing game jams or you're doing like small, low production games and you want to like demo it to people. Uh, it's much easier to distribute browser based games over the web because you give them a URL and they can go play it versus here's an executable. I don't know what I'm really doing. I just gave you like or I gave you like a weird way to like build it or something, and it causes a lot of like headaches and issues with testing. And so this way it's a little bit easier to showcase your game off, demo it to people, talk about it, share it. Definitely more for like game jams and smaller projects. Would not recommend it for like an indie studio or something, or like trying to launch your games or something. But as for this being like unique, yeah, I really am curious how well it's gonna go with. I've created two game, one game. I did one game jam. I did a second game jam, but I was sick and wasn't feeling that well into it. But I've done one game jam. It was in Pie Game, and it was a mini game collection. Um, but this is my first time doing a game where I'm trying to get community feedback um, as I'm doing it. I'm really curious to see how this will work. Um, I'd love to like see if I can find like researchers because um, like I said, when you learn about like agile methodologies, it's like, oh, you have like stakeholders and they come in and you like demo a thing and then you go off and you work and you go off and you work and you go off and you work and it's like this back and forth. It's like, well, what happens if you just bring everyone to the table and like as you're coding, the stakeholders are there as you're um like I think another interesting thing is like what happens when your stakeholders are also developers? Like what happens when like someone wants this feature but you've like taught them like how to like fish, right? It's like you're the fisherman and they're like, we need all this fish, and you're just like, I can't fish that much, but like, hey, I taught you how to fish. Like now you're bringing stakeholders to the table, they can also fish. um doesn't really work in like large corporations or like more of like traditional company space because um I don't know, I don't know how you get them to buy in on this, but and at least from what I've seen at the smaller scale, when I first announced, so I announced that I was making this game last month on stream, and I had a person from the Discord um, draw fan art. Let me see if I can actually pull up. I might just throw the document it that way. Um. Anyways, I when I introduced that I was working on this game, I introduced. Okay, cool. I introduced. Oh, nice. Thank you. Um. I Why can't I copy? Oh, there it is. I just hate new Windows. Um, I'll just okay. Whoa, okay, that's way too big. Oh, it's because I'm zoomed. Okay. Um, So when I was on stream last month, when I announced that I was working on this game, this was me trying to like clean up AI, which did not work very well. I end up then realizing that I'm just gonna have to learn pixel art. But I introduced this character, and one of my fans from the Discord went off and drew this. He went off. I should say they don't actually know gender. They went off and drew this, and one of the interesting things that I got from this is the Clover tattoo, which I plan to incorporate the tattoo somehow into the story and into the game. Um, so I think that's really interesting about as I'm building this game and I'm getting feedback from audience members and having audience members like do stuff outside of the stream and bringing stuff like I consider, even though it's considered fan art, I also consider this concept art. Um, so it's really interesting to see like what can come about this. Um, I'm curious as I like try to learn how to do music. If I get music people in here, like if I could get help with music, I think music is probably gonna be one of the more challenging things. Oscar book. Oh hey, speaking of the person who drew it, I was just talking about you. I'm sorry. I was talking about your art that you drew, which actually got posted in the design doc. Um, is he gone? So confused. I don't know how Twitch works. This is the part I don't like about Twitch is it says I have 3 viewers, but I only see 2 viewers in the chat. So weird. But yeah, I think it was Ghost. Oh, it was Ghost. Yeah, it was Ghost. It was Ghost. Yeah. So Ghost drew the picture. So, I was just telling Urama. Did I actually get that name right? Um, about the clover or about the tattoo, and I plan on using the tattoo. Oh, I guess you can't see my mouse cursor. Need to figure out how to show my mouse cursor when I do this. But I was just telling them about the mouse cursor, or not the mouse cursor, the tattoo, and how I want to use the tattoo as a story element in the game. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it, but I would like to incorporate it in somehow. Um, but I'm just like really excited to see like how doing a design, like designing a game with audience members taking like getting that immediate feedback as I'm working. um I'm kind of curious how that'll go. I'm wondering if like I don't know, I feel like sometimes developers don't like having people watch them all the time, but I don't know, I'm very curious because I feel like sometimes people are just like I want to like go off, do a thing, and then like showcase it later, but I'm kind of curious about the real-time feedback and how that will like work out. um Also, I think it'll be a little more challenging considering I can only do this like in small 2 hour chunks, like almost every night. So we'll see. Um, So the target audience is everyone and challenge seeking players. Um, yeah, let the player explore the world and give them nudges to help them make it easier. For the challenge seeking players, the game is set up to encourage seeing the final area, but the final area make it hard to complete without the equipment. Uh, the the nudges can turn off or why there's it do that? Yes, it did. Okay, fine. Hmm. Sorry. I think taking feedback like that is more fun interacting for us viewers as well. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Um, I know Ghost, you kind of know earlier when I announced the game. But to kind of catch you up on this stream, um, I'm working on the design doc, kind of like work on filling out some of the areas. I'm not the biggest person when it comes to designing everything up front and then going off and like implementing. I'm kind of like I wanted to do a little bit of design tonight. Try to write down all of my thoughts that I've been doing. I know I showed Kurama her name right, and then I don't know. They said that they could see this, but I feel like this is really hard to see. I drew this map like a couple months ago when I was first thinking about this game, and so it has like different biomes and stuff. Yeah, it looks like chicken scratch. I apologize. Um, but anyways, I have like 7 different biomes or 8 different biomes that I wanted to explore, with each biome having its own set of characters. And the idea is that main character Clover wakes up, and um, the main character Clover wakes up, and the starting area is just north. Or I guess I don't really doesn't matter. The idea is the character wakes up and is in the area where you can see the final area. The final area is a giant tower, um, that's like overlooking like a hill, kind of like a I don't want to say plateau, but like it's kind of like an overlooking area. And the tower is the final area. It's where you go to fight the final boss. Um, but the player is given nudges. So for inexperienced players, the idea is the nudges will help them explore the world, get better at going to the tower. But for expert players, they can immediately go to the tower. Um, but they uh like you don't start out with a sword. You don't start out with any way to like fight. You can like pick up bushes. You like pick up couple things to like fight. But you can pick up sticks, but sticks will break. So I don't know if you've ever played Breath of the Wild, but it's kind of like taking the Breath of the Wild concept, but taking it with old Zelda, where in old Zelda you got rewarded for doing the challenges. Then once you did the challenges, the rewards would help you explore the world better. I want to take that same concept where like you could go and fight the final boss, which is like sticks and just random stuff. It's going to be really hard. And like one idea I had was you could go find holy water. You need a bottle, so you'd have to find a place to find a bottle, and then find where to get holy water. And then you can like douse the stick with holy water, and that'll make fighting the final boss easier. It would not be easier than like you went and got the sword and then powered up the sword by doing all of the quests related to the sword. Um, but that's kind of like the idea is the player gets rewarded by making the game easier by doing the challenges and helping people. That will make unlocking things and doing things a little bit easier. Um, and then there would be like it's not really that like you have a not like your choices matter. Like in order to go to the desert, you need the bridge to be made, or you can learn how to swim. In order to learn how to swim, you have to go and do like the lake dungeon. Um, but doing the lake dungeon would be easier if you've already done the forest dungeon. So it's like trying to find um like still make it doable, but like make it so that like you can do like level 2 first versus level 1. But like you're more incentive to do the things in the correct order because that'll make it easier. Like it'll get progressively easier. Um but like still be open enough that you could stumble across it without having to like follow a specific order. So now I need to write all that stuff down that I just talked about. Um, and of course, like I said, as audience members, like more than welcome to pitch other ideas, throw whatever other things you have in mind, um, provide feedback and whatnot. Um, so the the player's main goal, tackle, climb the tower center. Oh, I didn't even talk about yeah, I would say that like right, like I don't want like one in like dungeon 1. You have to complete dungeon 1 in order to do dungeon 2. Um so there's something I have to like think about, right? Like knowing that I let the player go to dungeon 2 and they don't have the stuff from dungeon 1 that that like they could still be able to like do it. Um I think there might be some things that would be gated off just by like in order to go to the sea, you need to be able to swim. Like there's I mean maybe I can make it where there's like boat people and maybe the boat people will give you a ride, but like at some point in order to go to the underwater area, you need to learn how to breathe underwater and you need to know how to swim. So like you might learn how to breathe underwater, but you can't swim because you figure out a way to get to the island without swimming. Um but like eventually you're gonna have to do the things in order to like do some of the things. Um Trying to remember because I feel like Zelda 1 was kind of like that, where it's like I think dungeons 1 through 4 can be done any order, um, or 1 through 3. But then, like as you got to the higher numbers, it made more sense that you needed to do the lower numbers in order to do the higher numbers. Um, but like you could also just like go into the dungeon, get the big item, and then walk out of the dungeon, and then go do the next thing. Like I think dungeon 3 gives you the raft, and then you could go to dungeon 4 or whatnot. I know I think there's some people who are like they like figure out how to get to dungeon 7 or 8 and then get the skeleton key and then they just do everything else because now that you have the skeleton key, everything is super. Um, but yeah, my goal is to like allow people to have the ability to explore and options to explore. So it's kind of like Breath of the Wild, but you're more incentive to want to do the things because it will make it easier and make exploring easier. Um, and also we'll see. Um, sorry, Kurama, for how long? That's a good question. Um, I don't actually know yet. Um, I know for me, part of the problem is going to be it's a lot of like after hours for working on this. Um, I don't really have a definitive timeline. Um, I'm trying to do everything in house, so um, so by doing everything in house, it'll make like there's no fear of like I'm running out of money. I can't do this project. So there's no fear of like we need to like complete this project in order to get money so that we can like keep thriving as a business. More of like work on it until we get to a part where we feel comfortable releasing it. Um, but I mean, don't I mean I think I can work to like get like a demo out or something. And then something else I learned, uh, if you're like a small indie developer or a very very small, like if you're like borderline hobbyist to business person, don't spend a lot of time trying to polish things. Like just work to get something that like works. Then once you start getting a traction for the thing, then spend money to polish it. If I get like enough attraction and excitement for this, then from the connections I made from going to game developers conference last week, I would like start reaching out and start talking to people about, hey, how can I polish this better? How can I start working with like uh low end, like I still keep my budget fairly reasonable. So I'd be reaching out to like independent sound people. Like how could I make the sound better? How could I make the sound uh more crisp? Because I know I don't have that expertise. I could maybe try to learn how to do it, but I know from my background and my experience, I'm not that picky when it comes to like sound quality and like art quality. Very I don't know. I don't have the eyesight for it or the like vision for it. But I would like then go and like work to like help, like I would then go and seek out how to polish that stuff by working with contractors and other people help um polish it. And then I think of course the goal would be, depending on how I built it in Game Maker, make it easier to swap that stuff out. Would be the goal. I would hope. I'd hope that I'd figure out a way to like make it so. The player's main goal is to climb a tower in the center of the map. The player may explore the rest of the world to make climbing the tower easier. This includes upgrades, new equipment, store element that wood carpenters, not the forest makes bridges. Okay. There will be a forest in our 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 hill. The center. Um, river that around uh lake blocking. No, did I spell it dessert or did I spell it desert? I think I spelled it dessert, or I may have just misspelled it completely. Or yeah, a uh, mining mountain. Nice. Good luck in class. Feel free to join the Discord if you haven't. Definitely look forward to seeing you more around. I gotta go and uh, yeah. Good luck. Good luck with your classes. If I entered did you enter the Discord? You're more than welcome to enter the Discord. Nah, definitely tell your friends. Definitely share this. Greatly appreciate any feedback, support. Oh, they're already gone. Ew. Oh, I think I did get the follow. Man, I'm really bad at. I really need to figure out how to Twitch. So there'll be a mountaining area and a meditation. I don't know how to. I don't want to say holy. I feel like I don't want to keep like meditation on religious meditation mount. Well, that's mediation. Eh, yeah, I'll go with meditation. I mean, basically, I want like a. I'll just say holy. Like I want like a more spiritual type of mountain, a like resource mountain. And they're like next to each other. Kind of interesting because it's like they're the idea is like the meditation people are like, no, 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 you can't like eat up all the resources, and then the mining people are like, but we need the resources like this, and they're like, I think the idea that I had in mind was they're like rock people, so they eat rocks, so like they mine the rocks and then eat the rocks. Then the meditation people are like, you can't over consume rocks. Oh yeah. Then there's a desert. All right, desert. No, I wrote desert. Desert, and then there's ruins, and then the ruins can take you to the moon. Spoilers, going moon traveling. Um, and I'll explain when we get to characters, like why there's some. Um, yeah, and then there's the beach, and then there's the sea, and there is the island, the volcano. And then there's underwater areas are always the best. We're gonna have fun figuring that one out. Um, yeah. So I won't. Like, I'm not gonna like flesh all this stuff out tonight. I think the goal would be to figure out these three areas because I think these three areas are the most important kind of concept. Um, so, but I'll just go ahead and like keep filling this out and then going back to that. Go from there. So the setting. Um, this is the first game, a series of Tales series. The first game is focused on like I'm repeating. Trying to figure out where I would put. Well, anyways, it's focused on the past. Oh, I think I need like a story section. So let me put. Maybe I'll change setting to story. We'll do that. This is the first game in the series of three games in the Tales. The first game is focused on the past, where the human um human king travels past and transforms monster. Um, the idea is that next game will be focused the monsters. The third game about capturing, exploring the world, the the new The idea is so there's a game that my wife and I are creating, and I kind of want them all to take place in the same universe. So in that universe, um, the Demon King doesn't go back in the past and creates this tower which destroys the town that's in the middle of the map. The idea here is that the Demon King goes back in the past, stops humans from being able to domesticate animals, because when he shows up is when humans are about to domesticate the animals, and instead he summons a giant tower and releases his one, two, three, four, five, six. I feel like the lake. I forgot the lake. Seven demons. Basically releases. I can forget. Two mountains, forest, lake, underwater, volcano. Oh yeah, because the moon's not part of. So he releases seven generals, and by defeating the generals, you just get more hearts. Or I'm gonna use clovers. So the clovers are where you get more health. So it's like the Legend of Zelda, but instead of having four heart pieces, you get four clover pieces. Um, and as for the tattoo that you drew, Ghost, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with that. I feel like like I want to do something where like once you get the tattoo, if you lose all of your clovers, you don't die. If you have the tattoo, it like transforms you. But I'm still trying to figure that out. I do want to incorporate the tattoo somehow. Um, I haven't figured out what that might be or where that'll be, but I would like to incorporate a tattoo in the game. I don't want the character to start with a tattoo. I want the character to like get the tattoo later. Um, I'm wondering like maybe it might be like once you run out, maybe that's it. You get a tattoo like every time you save, because there's got to be a way to save. So maybe there'll be like giant clover patches or something. And when you save, you get a tattoo. And when you die, so you run out of hearts or you run out of clover life meter, instead of dying, the hearts get converted into a timer. You're not going to actually see the timer. It won't be a physical timer. It'll be like a timer on the like your hearts like the clovers will be like blacked out, and then they'll start to like vanish. And if you make it back to a clover, you'll revive with three hearts, and you won't lose your progress. Maybe that might be something. Um, it's my best. That's my best idea right now. I might need to go jot that down, but that might be something. I'm just trying to figure out like when and how you would get the tattoo and why you get the tattoo. Um, but that's something to think about. Uh, but anyways, so um, first game in the series of three games. The first game is past, where the goes past transforms animals into monsters. The next game will be third game is capturing. Oh, so the third game is like a Pokemon game idea. Um, so the main character for this game the chosen hero selected by the Buddhist. What is? I really can't spell. I think that's how you spell. Yes. Uh, selected the chosen hero selected by the moon goddess, and they are awakened in a cave, a plain that look the forest, the tower. The player's name Clover or select um Clover and explore the tower, but and if they die during this time, uh, they will be nudged to explore forest. This next option. I don't know if you were there for that, Ghost, but one of the things I'd like to be able to do is make this game accessible for most people. Uh, but I want to make it so that anyone can like, or like more hardcore or like challenge seeking people. I wanted to allow them to like go explore the tower. Um, but if they keep dying, let them know that hey, like you don't have to go do the tower. You can like go explore other things. And so the idea is that um, the goddess wakes you up, kind of nudges you to go to the forest first. Um, but there's a path to go to the tower. So um, kind of let them like go off and explore the tower if they want to, or they can go to the forest. Or they can like just go anywhere, right? The only limitations are uh, the two mountains are open to explore. The lake is open to be explored, and the forest is open to be explored. Um, you can probably go to the beach, but like you can't go to the sea because you need a boat, and you don't get a boat until like you complete two other things. But I'm not trying to go that too far yet. Um, the idea is you can kind of like explore the world and like stumble across like dungeon 2, which would probably be the lake. Um, so it's like there's a forest, there's like a broken bridge that you can't get to. There's like you trying to go to the desert, but you can't go to the desert. There's a broken bridge. Um, you can go to the lake. Going to the lake, you can learn how to swim. Learning how to swim, you can then go to the island. Um, and then by going to the island, you can learn how to breathe underwater. Um, yeah, I think that's kind of like the idea. So, um, I'm just trying to figure out like maybe I could do maybe I might just do classic Zelda and just be like, here's another cave. Um, and I don't know, I'm trying to figure out if like if I want to give the player the sword, like there's a chest Like in the opening cave where you wake up, there's a chest. I feel like most people are gonna open the chest and then grab the sword. But I want people to explore the world first and then realize they need to find a sword to make the game. I don't know. Um, I don't know. I might have to think about that a little bit more. Um, ah, stop doing that. The playable main player Clover and a start out with the players of leader by number of Clovers displayed played as 4 clovers per count. Not, I don't want to be like it's like Zelda, but instead it's 4 clovers. Um, they can collect clover pieces. Their health in by exploring or other a clover. I don't know how to like word this. Clover container. I don't know. I'm also there's part of me who's getting tired. Um, you can get a new clover container from defeating a boss. The main villain is from the the opening. show form animal. Defin- Um, wow. I did not realize it's already 10:30. I thought I could get further in this. Um, oh, yeah, I don't know. This is why I don't really like doing a bunch of design up front. I do get exhausted from um, I feel like this good. I don't know. This is the part I don't. It's like a part of me was just like, just do, and then kind of like iterate on it. Um, and I'm just trying to think. So I have scheduled for Saturday. I was gonna do some of the art. I'll be back on Saturday to try to do some of the art. So I guess what I probably need to do is I need to figure out art for the villain and the main character, and I guess like I guess I'll um take the stuff I've been doing from the training class and use that to like just kind of like create like an opening area. Um, and kind of just like go from there. Like work on making Clover. Maybe try to make the villain and make like a bat or something, like a bat enemy. Um, I go from there. Um, like a bat or a goblin. Just kind of get like a flying enemy and a walking enemy. I don't want a slime. Kind of like do those three basics. Um, then kind of like yeah, I guess I'll go down here and try to do so. Clover walking. Oh, we'll just do Clover art. Oh my gosh. Um, Health. Why? Um, like roles UI. I'm just trying to like figure out how to like get something I can work on for Saturday with the art. So I would say good challenge would be get like Clover art working so I can have like a walking character, uh, walking main character. Um, Roles attack. I'm hoping to be able to reuse a lot of the stuff I took from this. Like kind of goes it in and go from there. So I can at least create the planes with the art they used in the other game. So just kind of like make like a big open field and like go from there. And I'm gonna do the heart container or say container or and then I guess I'll try to do the time thing. Time death. Then safe. Yeah. Seems. Oh, and then I'll safe. Part. Yeah. No, I'll just like a cross or something. Like simple art. Then use it that way. Um. Yeah, I think this is a good starting point. Like, there's still a lot to do, but I will at least be able to start with some of the art, and then do the coding for the walking, the controls for attacking, walking, work on collecting containers, big containers, then do the death thing, and then save point. That's working. Like, go to like fill it in. It's like drag and drop it in, as needed, like playtest from there. So with that, I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. Be on for a little bit longer. I'm gonna So I'm really big into using Google Tasks. By no means a sponsor for no sponsored. But I really love Google Tasks to set up basic projects. Yeah, I won't share it. I don't private. But basically, what I do with Google Tasks is I create a today task, and those are like big ticket items. So like, if I'm gonna work on a project, I will say like work on a project, and I have a like tab full of tasks for that big project. So like for example, The Legend of Clover is a big project. I'm not gonna put in my today task to be like complete The Legend of Clover. It'll be like work on The Legend of Clover. So then I just like pull tasks out of Legend of Clover. So I created the Word doc and I started listing some tasks that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna plug those tasks into Google Tasks. And then when I'm like on Friday when I'm doing the art, or not Friday, Saturday when I'm doing the art, um, I'll pull some of the art tasks off the Legend of Clover task board and put it into my today task and work on it. Um, Sometimes my today tasks could just be like, I need to take out the trash, or I need to go to the grocery store, or I need to like do laundry. Those things that aren't like, those things that are not a like long commitment or like much bigger structural problem where it's like I need to go to the grocery store, right? It's like that you can do. It's gonna take about 2 hours to go to the grocery store, but like I don't need a like task breakdown of going to the grocery store. I just know that I need to go to the grocery store or um whatever. So like sometimes there'll just be like a single line item ticket tasks. Um but I namely look at today and today only when I'm like working to complete things. And so I'll like when I have like bigger projects or things, I pull those tasks into today and then I work on them. And I complete them that way. So like I might pull in a task that says like work on the Legend of Clover for 30 minutes today. And I'll like start pulling stuff. So I'll go ahead and add art. I'm getting really over that. Oh, so trying to think like Yeah, it's good. I just put in for the design doc. I streamed for feedback, which that completed, and then I added the outline, which I mean, it's an ongoing process. So it's. Not, I think I'm just getting tired. Being honest, I need to save. That would be really nice. Oh, go to chatting. Yeah. So that was that. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Sorry. So if you like this content, please feel free to follow us on Twitch. Oh, I forgot to turn the light on. I was like, look so washed out. Yeah. So if you like this content, follow us on Twitch. Check out the Discord. I might repost that. I don't actually know if when you rewatch streams, if it brings the chat up. Check out our Patreon page. $5 gets your name in all the credits. So, oh yeah, that was something I need to work on. I need to work on building out the credits page for Twitch so I can like showcase that because I do have one Patreon member and I greatly appreciate them. But if you'd like to support us, just $5 gets you access to getting your name in all of the credits. So if you want your name in credits and you want to help support us, that would be really great. $30 a month gets you access to one-on-one coaching. So spoke earlier about I'm a mindful coach. So if you need help with focusing on career growth and goal settings, as well as being more mindful, so being more aware and more present in how you present yourself when giving conversations. I can help with that. We do offer group things in the Discord, which we meet every Thursday at 8 o'clock Central. So if you can't afford the $30, there's that option as well. And then the producer tier. The producer tier, if you want your name in every project in the front of the credits, definitely check out the producer tier. This will help. This can help drive which products and services you would like to see be more implemented at here at Infinite Wonder. If you want to subscribe to the producer tier, this is a great place to check out. It's only $2,000 a month, but your funding will greatly help grow this business model and this style of working. Again, it's more for like helping to align with like what projects and products that you'd like to see be worked on. It won't necessarily get you access to like make the decisions or make design decisions. It'll just help move projects to different levels of uh, interest. And also you get, like I said, you get front page with the credits. And also they will be read more than the back credits as the back end credits grow. I think I'm rambling. I think I'm just getting tired. It's been a long day. Been a very long day. I had some meetings today. We're back to back. Then I had another meeting. Then I had the office hours, and then I did this. So it's been a really long day. So, but yeah, I mean, if you like this stuff, greatly appreciate it. Help us grow, and yeah, have a good rest of your night. Thank you. Bye.